Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here. The NASCAR Next Gen's on the racetrack here at the beautiful Sunshine State Daytona International Speedway. It is the place to be here this evening as race number 1 of the Sweet Teas Redemption Tour gets underway. Drivers ready to rock and roll, drivers ready to go to battle here in this one. I can't welcome you guys in enough, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whether you're just tuning into the live stream or whether you're re-watching the broadcast, make sure you hit that like button, the share button, the follow and subscribe button, and make sure you drop a couple comments. Let us know what you think of the broadcast as we get ready to set these drivers loose. Qualifying is currently underway. Drivers out there on the racetrack, they're getting their qualifying laps in right now. Open qualifying, so it's going to make things a little bit more interesting. And being Daytona is not quite a major thing to have a good qualifying lap time. You can start at the back of the pack, work yourself to the front. You can start towards the rear and, still, just be able to avoid the big one, which is not a matter of when or if it's going to happen. It's going to be who's going to be able to avoid that big wreck that we're bound to see here at these international speedways. And Daytona always puts on a great show. We always see that big one, and it's going to be wild to see when it strikes and who's going to be able to avoid getting tied up in the carnage. A huge shout out as well to David. This is the David 150. I don't really have a whole lot of information on David. I did see the Facebook post somebody made about David and having spina bifida and hyperphilosis. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting that totally wrong. But a 10-year-old kid with spina bifida, such heartbreaking, man. This race, David, hopefully him and his family can sit back, relax, enjoy the racing action. And it's great to see not only the real-life racing community coming together and trying to help out David and make all his wishes come true, but also, some of the virtual racers here on iRacing coming together and trying to make it that much special for David as well. And if anyone's out there watching this, whether you have real-life stickers for your real-life racing team or if you have stickers for your virtual racing team, you can get a hold of me or you can get a hold of Ty Dickinson, and we can try to get something figured out where you guys can ship those off and try to get as many stickers. And that's what he really what he wanted, was a bunch of stickers and everything else. So hopefully we can get a bunch of people to get some stuff together for him and send him something really cool here. And this one hits close to home. I don't know if I have spina bifida, but I have had 2 major back surgeries. Before I was 18 years old, I had 2 major back surgeries, and back problems and everything else are never fun. They are honestly the worst things to ever have to deal with, and hopefully no one ever has to deal with back injuries or anything else. The spina bifida is a tough one to have to deal with and everything else. And we're all praying for you, buddy. We're all praying for David and hoping for a quick and fast recovery, and hopefully the doctors can get you all fixed up. As we get ready to rock and roll here, I see Michaela Quinn coming in with the heart reaction on the broadcast. Dylan Murray coming in with that share as well. Andrew Hainsley coming in with the like and the share here on the broadcast, with Rob Stefanski, Chad Puderbo, Ty Dickinson all coming in with the reactions, coming in showing the big love here in this one. Amy Marie Stefanski, Jake Stefanski coming in with the heart reactions. My boy John Fowler coming in with the like and the share. Bree coming in showing the love as well. Smashing that thumbs up here on the broadcast as we get ready to rock and roll. What's up, playa, says Dylan Murray. What's up, Dylan? How are you, brother? Hopefully you are ready for a wild race. As Ty says, welcome everyone to the David 150. Aaron Elliott can drop his PayPal Venmo for any donations to David and his family. Yeah, please. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. You might have to send it to me, Ty. He might be able to send it to you. You send it to me, and then I can put it into the chat. The chat, it should let it stay in there. It shouldn't automatically get booted by the bot, so we should be good on the link there for the Venmo or PayPal, if anything else. I did mess up qualifying. Oopsie. Hey, you know what? Sometimes it is what it is, and it's Daytona. If you're going to mess up on one, this is the one to mess up on, is open qualifying, even qualifying for single qualifying. It doesn't really matter too much because there's going to be a lot of time and a lot of drivers moving forward and backwards and playing that game of trying to, maybe start towards the rear of the field instead of up at the front of the pack. Steven Stefanski with the like on the stream. Mama Bear coming in, showing the love with the heart reaction. How are you, Mama Bear? How are you, Steven, coming in, showing the love here in this one. As you see these drivers rolling down pit lane, that means we are going to get ready here for the start of the David 150. We are going to put on an absolute amazing show, as Amy Marie Stefanski says, go get it, Stefanski boys. Michaela Quinn says, let's put on a show for David. Yes, Michaela, let's put on an absolutely amazing show here for David and his family and all of his friends and everyone that's tuning in and cheering on David and cheering on these virtual drivers here at Daytona International Speedway. Jake Stefanski says, let's go for David. A huge let's go right there for David as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready to set these drivers loose. You guys know what to do. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the follow, and subscribe button as we get ready to rock and roll here with the opening race of Sweet T's Redemption Tour here from Daytona International Speedway. Starting on the pole in the number 07, that is the beautiful ride from Mangus Anderson to his outside. That is the E&D Farms ride, the Papa Mike Promotions machine of Bryce Dickinson. Keith Hackney, Nathan Smith bring up row number 2, and then you see the 14 ride of Cody Sanderson and Cody Gagliano. Blake Murray, Thomas Levister, Tyler Carone, hopefully I'm saying that right, probably murdering it, Tyler, in the 95 ride. Joshua Ely out there on the racetrack, Dane Lloyd, Jonathan Wiley, Jacob Stefanski, Brandon Marlowe, Landon Price, Tyler Griffin, Charles Barnes, Dylan Lear, Michaela Steffes, and Dylan Murray round out our top 20 here in this one. Matt Taylor, Chad Puderbo, John Fowler, Steven Stefanski, Ty Dickinson, Kurt Sherwood, and Andrew Hainsley bring up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from the World Center of Racing. It's Daytona, baby. It's Daytona International Speedway, and the Sweet T's Redemption Tour is underway. Quickly, the 7 ride of Mangus Anderson out in front. He's got Keith Hackney right there on his back bumper. His drivers start to build up all that speed, all that momentum. You see the outside lane getting a great shove as that's going to move Bryce Dickinson. Now to the point here as he's got a few of his ex-teammates here. He's usually teammates still with them, but he is running that E&D Farms paint scheme on there, not the Grip Hackney Live ride. As you see a bunch of these Grip Hackney Live rides out there on the racetrack, his NLR teammates out there trying to help him at the front of the field as Bryce Dickinson will lead lap number 1. Nathan Smith, Cody Gagliano, and Blake Murray right there behind him as his 4 NLR rides there on the high side of the racetrack. You see Keith Hackney, he's decided to dip out of this one. He goes right down to the apron. He's going to lose that draft there. He's going to slide a little farther towards the back. Definitely a bit of a team strategy there for the team Conti. Hopefully I'm reading that right. The Team Conti 91 ride of Keith Hackney there as the Papa Mike Promotions ride slides all the way back into about the 15th position. He's got Dane Lloyd and Brandon Marlowe, a pair of the Hot Lap Hero rides back there with them. And then we see a big gap all the way back here to Chad Puderbo, John Fowler, Matt Taylor, Ty Dickinson in there as well in his time 67 ride, and a bunch of other drivers a little farther back here as well. Now the one thing you gotta make sure you don't do, and that is, oh no, get into an early wreck here, the 21 ride. I do believe that is Charles Barnes. Turned around, heavy damage there for the 5 ride as well. A pair of tore up race cars. That's Tyler Griffin. Absolutely shredded here. Let's play this one back and see what happened here. As Griffin was quite a ways back here, trying to avoid the 21 ride. We'll take a look and see what happened here to the 21. But you see this 5 ride, the Ford. He's rolling through there, expecting this 21 to maybe slide down the racetrack, and just did not slide down quick enough. And unfortunately, T-bones him right into the driver's side door. Hopefully, both drivers are A-okay out there on the track, as that was a pretty heavy hit right here for Tyler Griffin in this 5 ride. Hopefully get this car repaired quickly, as you see body panels and body pieces flying all over the racetrack. He's trying to get onto the binders, then trying to dodge this 21, and unfortunately runs out of room a little bit too quickly out there. And we'll take a look back and see what happens here to Charles Barnes, as well as Barnes. Looks like he may have just gotten a bad push, a bad bump draft or something here, but looks like he's already a little out of shape going into quarter number 1. So gets in there, just gets a big piece of the 56 ride, really bends him out of shape right there. See that car sideways, nowhere to go for the 95 ride, gives him a little help there. A shot to the back bumper, and then Charles is just going to try to hang on to it. Unfortunately, can't hang on to it enough, and right up the racetrack, the 95, the 21, heavy damage there for both of those rides, and a tough break for Barnes, and a tough break for the 95 ride, which I'm not sure who is in the 95. That is Tyler Carone in the 95 ride. A beautiful looking paint scheme here for Tyler as well, sporting the David 150 logo there on the hood of that car as well. So tough break there for tough competitor out there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can get a, I don't think we got a, there we go. We get a little bit of a look at that car. Let's see if we can play this one back and get another angle at this. See Charles Barnes already bent out of shape, and he's just going to wash right up over the nose of this 95 ride. Heavy damage, heavy contact. Tough break there for Charles. Tough break for the 95. See if we can play this one back. Jump on board with this 21 ride of Charles Barnes, as we got some time here. That's the one thing with Daytona, is that you have lots of time to break down cautions and see what happened here. Is just get in there, just gets a piece of the 56, and as soon as he does, it just kind of gets him completely bent out of shape. And unfortunately, that's all she wrote there for the 21 ride. Is he will take that car down behind pit wall, going to get some repairs done to it, and hopefully we'll see him roll back out onto the racetrack, as we will get him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Joshua Neal coming in with the like on the stream. Casey Looney Frazier coming in with the like as well. Max Busboo, my boy Max, coming in with that heart reaction. Darius Richard Brent coming in with the like on the stream as well. Colby Ely, my boy Colby, coming in, so mashing that thumbs up here in this one as we get ready to rock and roll. Vicky Schuller, Mama Schuller in the house as well over there on YouTube, says give him a great show, guys. Vicky, we will put on an absolutely amazing show here for David. That is for absolute certain. We are going to put on an amazing show here for David, and you know, I haven't seen the link be posted yet, but there is a link for David's family for the for squirrel. Yeah, he was a little squirrely right there. Unfortunately, not all of his fault there in that one, Craig. Not all of the 21's ride was at fault for that one. Obviously, just that little bit of contact. The drivers in front of him were just kind of getting into that outside fence, and that's really where it all starts. There was some contact with the outside fence in front of them, and that kind of just stacks this outside lane up. And as they get stacked up, the 21 gets into the back of the 56 ride right there, and then that just kind of shoots him down the racetrack, and then trying to correct it without going around, unfortunately, slides up the racetrack again and right in front of the 95 ride, and that's just where it goes from at that point. Just trying to keep a handle on that car, and unfortunately just that little bit of contact at 200 miles an hour, that's all she takes, especially going through these corners. Unfortunately, just wrong place at the wrong time for the 95 ride, and a tough break for him and the 21, and a tough break for Tyler Griffin in the 5 ride as well, who also got collected in that one later. As we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here, the 27 ride of Landon Price is out in front, is outside. That is the 36 ride, the 09 laser engraving machine of Joshua Ely. Taylor Lear right there in the 09 machine. The 49 of Michaela Steffes, they're in 4th. Dane Lloyd in position number 5. It's Danny Dane in the Hot Lap Heroes ride. There in the 5th position. He's got his Hot Lap Heroes teammate there to his outside. That is Brandon Marlowe. Chap Puderbo in the DWR iRacing iFlag number 20 ride. He's actually sporting the 7 ride here this evening, or at least that's what the number looks like on that car. It's the DWR iRacing iFlag ride. Sporting a new number here this evening for Chap Puderbo. He's got John Fowler there to his outside in the JB Designs Dirty Monkey Motorsports ride. And then you see the 99 of Nathan Smith and Cody Gagliano rounding out our top 10. Bryce Dickinson, Blake Murray, door-to-door there in 11th and 12th as they will look to try to work themselves back to the front of the field. But right now, we get ready for a Geico restart here from Daytona International Speedway. Quickly, the green flag back out into the air after a quick caution flag, and everyone back out onto the racetrack. Everyone pointed back in the right direction. See how much longer we can last this time. See the next caution flag fly? Do we see the big one? Do we see a massive pile-up for driver going to try to play it a little bit smarter here throughout the rest of this race towards the end? You see some drivers already starting to try to form up that second group here a little deeper in the field as they kind of ease off, stroll towards the back of the pack here, just trying to keep themselves out of trouble as Jacob Stefanski right there in the HendrickCars.com number 2 ride. They're in the 21st position. He's got Kirk Sherwood, Steven Stefanski, Thomas Levister right there. I don't know who that was that just went sliding down the infield right there. I do believe that is a couple different drivers that went right through there. Was that Keith Hackney? That was Keith Hackney that just went for an absolute wild ride here. See if we can play this one back quickly and take a look at it as... Man, Hackney just unfortunately lost the handle of his car. Just gets a little contact right there. I'm not sure who that was, but gets a little contact. Just sends him straight down towards the infield wall here. Some great heads-up driving, getting that car to stay pointed in the right direction and trying to keep it from headed down pit lane here as well. Going to try to avoid that commitment cone where he's not going to get penalized, and does a great job for that, and then goes for a drive down through the grass here, a little bit of a lawnmower move down across the Daytona International Speedway front straightaway here as he will rejoin the rear of the field and keep on rolling. Unfortunately for 91 ride, he doesn't have a whole lot of drafting help this far back. He's already 10 seconds off of our 25th place driver. Charles Barnes is scored the first car one lap down out there on the racetrack, but for Keith Hackney, this puts him all the way back in that 26th position and at risk of possibly going a lap down as he is running quite a bit slower than everybody else out there on the racetrack. And definitely a tough break there for the Papa Mike Promotions Grip Hackney Live 91 ride as Dane Lloyd out in front, and look at this. Oh, hang on to it. Michaela Steffes going for a ride there. She almost did the exact same thing we saw Keith Hackney do. And that was go for a big spill here as a little bit of contact down out of the tri-oval. And this car almost went sliding into that infield wall as the 27 ride, a little 3 wide right there is the NASCAR 49 ride. The Kansas City Chiefs sponsored machine gets the contact right there with the 27 and just loses that front nose down through the grass. Going to take out that commitment cone there, the pit road exit cone, and able to keep it pointed in the right direction. A good piece of driving and a great handle on that car as she keeps it pointed in the right direction. Unfortunately, now she finds herself in that same situation that Keith Hackney did as Hackney just continues to slide farther and farther back and away from the rest of the field. But they are going to get a good break here as the caution flag will come back out as the 11 ride of John Fowler is going to go for a ride here, and that will bring the caution flag out. So a tough break here for John Fowler. Looks like a tough break as well for Chad Puterbo as, hard into that outside wall for Puterbo. You see John Fowler slide down through the grass, a loop-de-loop here, and it looks like too much damage for the 11 ride, but a ton of damage there for Chad Puterbo. That was a heavy hit right there for that 20 machine. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. We're going to have to play this back just a little bit. The caution flag didn't come out till afterwards. He's getting shoved right here, the 99 ride. Just gets a big bump there from the 11 machine. Unfortunately, just neither of them could hang on to it, and it just rolls that 7 ride right off the racetrack, right onto the lap of the 3 ride there as well. It makes contact with the 11 machine, and a tough break there for the Black Diamond Mafia number 3 ride out there on the racetrack. Dylan Murray is there's nowhere for him to go, nowhere to go for the 7 ride as well as Man, some crazy rides here at Daytona early on in this race, and it's going to be interesting to see how everyone's going to be able to handle these cars, especially towards the later ends of this race. When the push and shove it becomes a little bit more hot and horny, it's going to make things that much more interesting to see who's going to be able to handle these pushes and who's going to be able to stay alive until the end. Oh man, that was a heavy hit right there for that 7 ride of Chad Puderbo. Man, that's a tough break. See if we can jump right on board here with John Fowler in the 11 ride as he just gets a big run right here. He gets this Ronnie, the big shot to the back bumper of that 99 ride, and it just transfers all that momentum right to the back bumper of the 7 of Chad Puderbo. Spins him around. The 99 just trying to hang on to it, and John Fowler going for a couple loop-de-loops down through the infield, and luckily enough, no heavy contact there for John Fowler as he'll keep on rolling, but drivers will head down pit side here. So caution flag, pit stop, some pit strategy starting to get underway here. See a lot of the House of Speed rides down pit road here. See the number 36 down pit side. That's Joshua Ely. And it looks like everyone's just getting some fuel into their cars here. Bryce Dickinson down pit road, Cody Sanderson, Nathan Smith, Landon Price, Keith Hackney, Tyler Carone. Hopefully I'm still saying that right. Craig, how do you say your last name? Break it down for me. Lee Face says, David will so love this. He loves race cars and anything to do with them. Thanks, guys, for doing this for David. Absolutely our pleasure to be able to do anything to help David out. That is for certain. As I was reiterating earlier, is that, I grew up. I had 2 back surgeries. I had my first back surgery when I was, 12 years old. The second back surgery when I was 17. And, I've had issues like that. I went through, some of that tough stuff. Spina bifida is a little bit different than what I had, that's for certain. But, I got a nice, big, long, it's probably about that big. It's from my butt crack to about halfway up my back of a surgery scar, and had to do that twice, and it's not fun, and having to deal with any of that stuff. And I'm not sure, I do apologize, what the other thing was there, the hypercolitis, probably getting that completely wrong. I can't even say that, doctor terms, as I'm not sure exactly what that is and everything else. But yeah, spina bifida, definitely not any fun, and we're definitely praying for David and his family. And if anyone wants to help out, hopefully we can get that PayPal link or Venmo link into the chat where you guys can donate. If anyone is out there and willing to donate and wants to help out David and his family, or any of the drivers, whether it's real-life racing stickers or virtual racing stickers, if you guys want to, get a hold of me or get a hold of Ty Dickinson, and he can point you in the right direction where you can send, any stickers or anything else that you want to David and his family to be a part of that. As we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a few more moments. The racing action will get underway here. His drivers ready to rock and roll. They're ready to go back to battle here at Daytona International Speedway. So far, we've seen a pretty crazy one for only being 14 laps into this race. 2 early caution flags, but we've seen a few drivers run into issues, have some contact, go sliding down through the infield there, and able to, luckily enough, get that caution flag without going a lap down, as that caution flag will give the lucky dog to the 21 ride of Mr. Charles Barnes. So Charles, I do believe, will get back onto the lead lap. Unfortunately for Chad Puderbo, the damage on this number 7 ride is just a little too much, and he has taken that car back behind the pit wall, and hopefully we'll see if he can get back out there onto the racetrack before the end of this race, and maybe just have some fun, run some laps out with us, and try to rejoin the field here. Is Dane Lloyd, Daddy Dane, out in front. Brandon Marlowe, his Hot Lap Heroes teammate, right there to his outside. The man with the plan, the master man, and Sweet T himself, Ty Dickinson in the tie. Papa Mike Promotions, Black Diamond Mafia 67 ride there in that 3rd position. He's got his Black Diamond Mafia teammate Matt Taylor to his outside. Thomas Levister Steven Stefanski, Tyler Griffin, Blake Murray, Cody Gagliano, and Bryce Dickinson bring up our top 10. As we head down through the Geico restart zone, we are back to Green Flag Racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Quickly, Danny Payne jumps out in front here. Brandon Marlowe's going to slot in right behind him here as everyone's trying to find a dancing partner to try to work themselves towards the front of the field. Someone that can be a little bit of a trustworthy pusher or shover, and someone that can kind of hold their line and hold their car pretty here. Well, receiving those bumps is a big thing here at Daytona International Speedway. If you can find a group of cars that you can work well with and really be able to shove and lock up tight bumper to bumper without having any issues, that's exactly what you're looking for. As out in front, Dane Lloyd has a pretty good lead here as they got a couple car lengths between themselves and that third and fourth place drivers. You see Ty Dickinson moving around there a little bit. He's going to jump up to that extreme outside as here comes Steven Stefanski. Steve's lawn care and number 15 Ryan looking to try to maybe jump up into the lead here as Ty Dickinson jumps to the outside lane. That number 15 Ryan's going to try to jump up there as well. Trying to get these drivers a little locked and loaded here as they're all separated pretty good out there on the racetrack. Looking for some good pushes and shoves here down the straightaways as about our top 10 have split away here from the rest of the field as Landon Bryce, the 27 ride, and that number 36, Joshua Ely, bringing up that final row here as 2x2 through our top 10 here in this one. Then you see Jonathan Wiley back there in the 11th position. He's got Keith Hackney, Cody Sanderson, Nathan Smith all right there as well. Some of the Grip Hackney live rides trying to split through these drivers, trying to work themselves up towards this lead pack as this second pack is a little bit more treacherous right now than our lead pack out there on the racetrack is. Oh, hang on to it, contact! Around goes the 56. Hard contact there, more contact down the back straightaway. The caution flag is going to come back out here. Heavy damage for the 56 ride. That's Jonathan Wiley, unfortunately parked there. Tore up in this one as, man, that was some heavy hits. Charles Barnes going to get collected in another one as well. Dylan Murray also getting collected there. I believe the 5 ride of Tyler Griffin also getting collected in that as a bunch of tough hits right there. And yeah, we did see the caution flag fly. Thank gosh we saw that caution flag come in. And this one was absolutely wild. Oh, man. Look at the air that this 56 ride takes right here as, oh, man, the 5 ride spun around there. Unfortunately comes down and right rears them and hooks them right up into the outside lane. Nowhere to go there for Dylan Murray. See John Fowler getting some contact into that as well. The 7 ride in there getting some heavy contact. The 09 also getting a little tore up right there as well as a lot of drivers with some heavy damage right there. That pack was looking very treacherous, and unfortunately for Mangus Anderson, Dylan Murray, Jonathan Wiley, Tyler Griffin, Charles Barnes, they all find out the hard way right here as we'll play this back just a little farther and take a look really at what happened here as, man, this one happened in a quick hurry as 56 down low, the 5 ride right through the middle, and the 56 just loses the bottom, pushes up the racetrack, just gets tight there, and unfortunately hits him once, hits him again, and just knocks that rear end loose, and then he's just trying to hang on to it as that rear end has broken traction, then he spins sideways, right rears the 56 ride, and right in front of Mangus Anderson, right in front of the 3 ride of Dylan Murray. Charles Barnes, nowhere to go there. Heavy damage for all those drivers. See the 09 trying to get checked up. A good piece of driving right there from Andrew Hainsley getting checked up there to avoid that one as he almost drove right into that. Luckily enough, he was able to get on the brake pedals quick enough right there and keep himself out of it as we'll play this back and jump right on board here with Wiley and see what happens here. Oh. That's how quickly the cookie crumbles there in that one, man. That is a tough break. Perspective here for Mangus Anderson as... Tough break there for a lot of good drivers out there on the racetrack. A bunch of tore-up race cars once again as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here once again as Jared James Murphy says, let's go. Thomas Levister cheering on Levister out there on the racetrack. Amy Marie says, Curion. Is that how you say that, Amy? Curion. Hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm probably still murdering it. I'll probably get it wrong a million times. Names are the worst for me. Trying to pronounce last names, no thank you. Papa Mike coming in as well with the like and the share on the stream, coming in showing the big love. My boy Black Phoenix 843 coming in with that like on the broadcast, as well as we'll get these drivers ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here right after a quick word from one of our sponsors here over at Scary Strokes.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight minigolf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your coolish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters.
Alrighty, as we got them stacked up 2 by 2 by 2, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Amy says, yes, say it fast. Creole. Hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm probably getting it wrong. Aaron Elliott coming in with the like on the stream as well. Aaron, welcome in. Ty also commented on the stream earlier. Aaron Elliott, I remember the name from his comment. If you have the PayPal or Venmo for any donations for David and his family, feel free to put that into the comment section. That way we can, if anyone is feeling generous and wants to donate or anything to the PayPal or the Venmo for David and his family, as 10 years old, dealing with spina bifida and something else I can't pronounce, and definitely a tough break. And if anyone's feeling generous and wants to help out a amazing family and the racing community to come together and help make things easier for them, and a 20-year-old that absolutely loves racing and everything to do with racing is something that we always want to help out. Hi, Dad, says Kevin O'Dally. What's good, Odelsky? How are you, my boy? How are you, Kev? Kev coming in, showing the love here in the broadcast with the like on the stream. How are you, my boy? Feels like it's been forever since I've seen or talked to you, my dude. And hopefully, we'll get some games in here soon. You hit me up with when you want to play something. Give me a date and a time, and I'll try to make sure I can make it happen. As we are back to Green Flag Racing, as Steven Stefanski out in front sees that green flag fly. He's trying to get a good shove here from that 37 to Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe's got his teammate right there to his outside, as that is the 9 ride. Danny Dane Lloyd trying to lead that outside lane. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of push and help there on the outside groove. Hoping for some drivers to jump up there and help him here. There's some more help to come to his back bumpers. That inside lane starting to edge out in front. More and more down the back straightaway. As Brandon Marlowe there in second, pushing Steven Stefanski to the front of the field. You see the 36 of Joshua Ely having a great run there in his 09 laser engraving machine up inside the top 5 here. And Thomas Levister having a great run there in the 22 ride, as Levister finds himself now inside the top 5. Kirk Sherwood, Dylan Lear, Jacob Stefanski, Blake Murray, and Tyler Huron there in the top 10, as Keith Hackney and Bryce Dickinson, Nathan Smith, a bunch of the NLR crew trying to get teamed together here once again and trying to get rolling there on that outside lane. It's going to be interesting to see if we can see a bunch of those Grip Hackney live line rides find each other late in the race and see if they can try to push themselves into a new lane and maybe into victory lane, as you see about 4 of them lined up right now. Bryce Dickinson, a subsidiary member of that group, trying to get in there as well, as he's usually on that team for any of the dirt racing action. And here he is getting right in behind them as they're lined up about 5 rows deep there on that outside lane. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to try to take control of that outside lane or if they'll stay locked in right behind the 09 of Dylan Lear. Is that bottom lane kind of getting a little bit more single file? You do see one driver get a little bent out of shape there. That was the 36. Joshua Ely almost going down across the apron right there. Luckily enough, he's able to catch it and keep it rolling here as there you go. See those House of Speed, Papa Mike Promotions, Grip, Acme Live Rides, all lined up there, trying to find some momentum as Thomas Levister is going to jump up and take control of that outside lane. As you did good that time, Aaron. Okay, thank God, thank God. I'm done for any time. I'm down for any time. I'm off Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Listen, brother, yeah, 100%. Tuesday, Wednesday next week, you hit me up with a time, and we'll definitely get some games in. I think I'm free all day Tuesday, so we should be good for Tuesday. Absolutely. Wednesday evening, I'll be locked up with another series, another race, but Tuesday, I'm definitely free, my dude. That's for certain. As my boy Kevin O'Delly coming in, flexing the big guns here with that sub badge. 18 months of being a subscriber over on Facebook. Absolutely insane, my dude. 18 months of being a paid subscriber to the PeaceMaker Sub Club. Absolutely insane. I can't thank you enough, homie, coming in, showing the love on such a consistent basis. 18 months is insane, dude. That is a year and a half, man. A part of the PeaceMaker Sub Club, and I can't appreciate you enough, brother. As out in front, Steven Stefanski came to lead the way here. Stefanski out in front. That's Brandon Marlowe, Dylan Lear, Joshua Ely, our top 4 on the racetrack. Kurt Sherwood right there as well, as you see the number 09. He's going to try to make the outside lane work here. He's going to have the 36 of Ely go with him right there, as things getting a little bit more spread open here. Drivers getting a little bit more air around them, trying to figure out where they need to go. Is contact, look out, possibly the big one down the front straightaway. Around goes the 56 ride again here. Bryce Dickinson just able to get through there. We did see Keith Hackney unfortunately getting a little piece of that one. Dane Lloyd down through the infield there as well, as the caution flag will come back out down this front straightaway right through the tri-oval. As oh, brother, this is a tough break here. Another big one for Jonathan Wiley, as it doesn't start with him, but unfortunately, it almost ends with him right there. As, man, some heavy hits here. As we'll take a look a little closer to the front of the field, as I believe that is the 36 ride, if we can find him on the list. There he is. Joshua Ely right here, giving a big push to that 09 of Dylan Lear. You see Charles Barnes right there as well in the 21, and unfortunately just gets a little bit of a push in the wrong angle. And oh man, just tough push there out of corner number 4, and one car gets loose, comes back up, back over. Dane Lloyd hard into the inside wall. The 21 comes down the racetrack, clips that 56 ride. The second time that's happened there is, oh, Thomas Levister, heavy damage there for him, as well as Dane Lloyd comes down into the 22 ride. They see this 56 and the 21 both slide up the racetrack. Hard hit right there for Nathan Smith. Hard hit for Bryce Dickinson, and Keith Hackney getting a good piece of that one as well. As, man, let's see if we can play this one back in real time, as this thing happened in a quick hurry. And this is Daytona International Speedway Racing for you, ladies and gentlemen, as this is how quickly things happen here. One mistake, one wrong move, and then that point on, it's on like Donkey Kong. You could be 8 rows deep and fortunately get tied up in it, and there was a lot of drivers right there that got tore up and nowhere to go out there on the racetrack. As we'll take a look here from the 36 ride's perspective, as they come out at corner number 4 here on the back bumper of the 09, and then just, yeah, off break right there. And luckily enough for the 36 ride, he didn't even get the worst end of that one, as definitely going to be a lot of other drivers with more damage than that, as there was a lot of cars that got tore up here. And see Keith Hackney just trying to work himself through it here, trying to avoid cars all around him, and fortunately just couldn't get checked up quick enough to avoid that 56 and the little contact right there. Good heads up driving there by that 69 ride, or 91 ride, but unfortunately, there's not enough there for him. Welcome to Daytona, says Ty Dickinson. Yes, sir, welcome to Daytona, as that's how quickly the cookie can crumble here for you. It can turn a good day into a bad day at the racetrack, as we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here. The Steve's Lawn Care Sunrise Racing. Number 15 machine of Steven Stefanski out in front, continue to lead the way here. He is looking pretty, sitting at the front of the pack. Brandon Marlowe right there behind him in position number 2. In the Hot Lap Heroes number 37 ride, Kirk Sherwood, Cody Sanderson in the 14 there in 4th. Ty Dickinson in the Black Diamond Mafia Papa Mike Promotions Sweet Tea Gang 67 ride there in 5th. Joshua Ely with that little bit of damage on that right-hand side of the 36 ride. Still rolling out there on the racetrack in that 6th position as John Fowler, Matt Taylor, Jacob Stefanski, Tyler Carone, Ethan Smith, Cody Gagliano, Michaela Staffis, Bryce Dickinson, and Keith Hackney rounding out our top 15. Thomas Levester there in the 16th position with Magnus Anderson, Andrew Hainsley, Blake Murray, Landon Price rounding out our top 20. Dane Lloyd, Dylan Murray, Dylan Lear, our top 23. Then we see Charles Barnes still down pit side with Jonathan Wiley down there as well. Tyler Griffin down pit side, and Chad Puterbo, unfortunately, already off the racetrack in his 20 machine. As we will get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one from Daytona International Speedway. Almost 30 laps into this race, we've seen quite a few drivers, unfortunately, find some trouble out there on the racetrack. There's still a good couple handfuls that have been able to dodge a couple bullets out there, able to avoid some serious carnage and beat up vehicles out there on the racetrack. So some good heads-up driving there, and unfortunately for some, just nowhere to go, the wrong place at the wrong time, and getting tore up out there, if no fault of their own, just fortunately, that's Daytona Racing. You can be a mile back there and unfortunately still get tied up in something that happens in front of you. As 200 miles an hour, these things don't stop right on a dime, and you can slide in there in a hot hurry. And if you get onto the brakes too hard, you can spin yourself around, put yourself into the wall, or you can get ran over from behind if somebody doesn't see what's happening in front of you and you check up too quick. Then you can get ran over, and things could happen all over again in another big wreck behind the initial wreck. As we will get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying the racing action so far in this one, make sure you hit the like and the share as we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, the official iRacing pace car. We'll head down pit lane as we head down to the Geico restart zone. Steven Stefanski, Brandon Marlowe, 1 and 2 see the green flag fly here once again from Daytona International Speedway. A great jump there out of the 15 ride as he's going to try to have some pushing help to his back bumper here in a quick hurry as things get a little spread out. Driver, we try to play things a little bit more cautiously here. After already seeing a lot of drivers get tore up, they may not have any quick repairs left. They may not have enough time to worry about trying to regain a lap or two out there on the racetrack. So you really want to be cautious, play it safe, and keep yourself out of trouble here throughout the race. I know every one of these drivers wants to put their car into victory lane, but you can't win it on lap number 30. You can only win it on that last lap and across the line to see the checkered flag, and that's how it's going to end no matter what. And you got to be there at the end to give yourself an opportunity to get that checkered flag. So you got to play it a little safe, a little conservative here and there right there on the racetrack to keep yourself out of that trouble. As Steven Stefanski trying to play it the safest as he can, and that's at the front of the field. If he can stay in front of all the other wrecks, there's no issues about getting tied up in them, as he's got Brandon Marlowe, Kirk Sherwood, Ty Dickinson, and now Jacob Stefanski up inside the top 5. John Fowler locked onto the back bumper there on the outside groove here, trying to help that tide. Papa Mike Promotions number 67 ride up Ty Dickinson up towards the front of the field here. Unfortunately, just not a whole lot of push and help yet there on the outside lane. Daniel Alvarado coming in with the like on the stream. Tim Jacobs coming in, some mashing that follow button, becoming a brand new follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Tim, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Coming in, some mashing that follow button here this evening. And Steven Stefanski leads the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to jump into a very quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. coming down just a little bit here as drivers unfortunately running into some issues there. You saw a good look at a few of them out there during the crank it up session. Drivers running into issues. Drivers unfortunately having some contact. A couple of them almost going around. A couple of them did go around. Unfortunately though, they kept their car pointed in the right direction, kept on rolling, and no caution flag was thrown. So this has really split this field up quite a bit as Blake Murray, the one rider, Kurt Sherwood, Jake Stefanski here, our top 10, all in this lead group out there on the racetrack. They're all kind of rolling together, working together here, single file out there on the racetrack. They got a huge gap back to our 11th place driver, the 7 rider Mangus Anderson, as this little 4-car group battling here. This is Mangus Anderson, Landon Price, Matt Taylor, Steven Stefanski, part of that group here. Unfortunately, they are about 8 seconds plus behind our race leaders in that lead pack out there on the racetrack. And then even farther behind them, another 5 seconds back, you see another 5-car pack out there on the racetrack. That's Tyler Carone and Dane Lloyd, Brandon Marlowe, Michaela Steffes, Thomas Levis. They're all there in that group. And then 8 seconds behind them, you see the 56 ride of Jonathan Wiley, the 3 ride of Dylan Murray. They're unfortunately deep in this one. Dylan Lear, 36 of Joshua Ely, the 29 of Andrew Ainsley, all back here, as well as I do believe Josh Ely is possibly the first car 1 lap down out there on the racetrack. So tough break there for Ely, as he was one of those drivers that unfortunately got tied up in some of the action out there. We did see Jonathan Wiley get tied up in some of it, as well as Tyler Griffin in the 5 ride, who's left the racetrack and off the track. Same with Charles Barnes and Chad Puderbo. So tough break for a few of those drivers out there, unfortunately taking their car back down pit side or behind the wall. So tough break for a few of our competitors here in the David 150, as out in front, Keith Hackney continuing to lead the way here. He's gotten kind of lined up with his teammates here, as he's got Cody Gagliano, Bryce Smith right there behind him. And then you see that 14 ride, the Sandman Speed Machine, the 14 of Cody Sanderson. They're in that 5th position. Blake Murray, Dickinson, Kurt Sherwood, and Jacob Stefanski, all rounding out our top 10 here in this lead group, this main pack at the front of the field here, as they got a gap back to our 11th place driver. So right now, biting a caution flag, it's down to these 10. This one out. Hackney continues to lead the way here. The 91 ride out in front is my boy Charles Colby Barnes coming in, showing the big love. How are you, Colby? Colby coming in, showing the big love with that like on the stream. Tough break out there in this one for you, brother. Unfortunately, just wrong time for a few of those wrecks, and unfortunately some pretty hard contact and pretty tore up race car there for you. And an early exit, which we never like to see. Hopefully we can see you get back out there, run some laps later in the race, and get that car repaired enough to get back out onto the track is what we're hoping for. But who knows, sometimes when you get into a big enough wreck or have too much damage, you know, you got 2 hours or 3 hours of wait time, and the race would be long but over before that. He's out in front, Keith Acme, who did get a little bit of damage during that last caution flag. This crew went to work, got that car pointed back in the right direction and fixed up nicely here, and he is leading this field and commanding this front pack here, as he's really just trying to keep everyone in line back there behind him. You see the 83 ride of Blake Murray. He's looking for a way to maybe get around this 14 ride of Cody Sanderson, as Cody Sanderson right now, the 1 car out here, making it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the NLR rides, as Bryce Dickinson rolling there in 3rd, having a great run here for himself, and good to see Cody back out there on the racetrack as well. It's been a little while since we saw Cody back out onto the track, so good to see that 21 machine making another appearance here. Obviously, he's sporting a different paint scheme here. You know, normally, well, I guess, yeah, we usually see Cody in the in a purple 21, but I do believe it's like the same paint scheme we've seen Charles Barnes run before. I think it's just got a different name banner on the top of it, and if it even has a different name banner, it definitely does. Barnes is a lot smaller writing than what was on the front of that number 21 ride out there. So identical paint schemes, but not the same driver behind the wheel of that 21. Hackney leads the way. Cody Gagliano, Bryce Dickinson, Nathan Smith, Cody Sanderson, our top 5 is Blake Murray there in 6. John Fowler and Ty Dickinson, the man with the plan. Sweet Tea Gang in the Black Diamond Mafia, Papa Mike Promotions, 67 ride there in the 8th position. Ty having himself a absolutely amazing race here. A great run for that number 67 ride. It'll be cool to see this 67 machine in his first race of the Sweet Tea Redemption Tour. Maybe find himself a way inside a podium finish here. Sure, John Fowler is looking for a good run as well as in our Slingshot Sim Racing Series as well. Another good run, but nothing he was hoping for last night for that 11 ride. So John Fowler hoping to get some magic going here in this one as well. But this driver's starting to lose a little bit of draft here behind our top 6. John Fowler trying to reel him back in here in a quick hurry. He's tying Dickinson a little farther back. You see Kurt Sherwood and that 2 ride of Jacob Stefanski. They fall any farther back behind the draft here, they could potentially fall out of the draft, and that's definitely not what we're hoping for. We do see some more action a little deeper in the field here once again, as it looks like Ainsley down and off the track right there. I'm not sure what may have happened to the Dirty Monkey Motorsports 29 ride, but it looks like some contact here down the front straightaway. As tough break there for Andrew Ainsley. Was having himself a good, decent run, and just looks like some contact there. The 36 and the 56 coming together, and he's just kind of trying to split the middle here. Unfortunately, gets a big piece of that 56 ride of Jonathan Wiley. That's going to send him down the racetrack, and man, some tough breaks out there for some of these drivers. And once again, no caution flag either. So no caution flag and a tough break there for all 3 of those competitors. Sliding down here into corner number 1. You see that damage on that 29 ride, and he's just going to take it down pit side. Obviously, maybe a flat tire or some major mechanical issues there on the Race City Racing memorabilia. Slingshot Sim Racing, Dirty Monkey Motorsports 29 ride as he has down pit side there and off the racetrack. A heartbreaker there for that 29. A good break here for Keith Hackney and crew, as no caution flag will keep all these drivers continue to be split up out there on the racetrack. And one of these cars will try to head down pit side right now as green flag pit stop's going to come right at you as they head down towards that commitment cone, trying to make sure they get on the binders quick enough, making sure they are not speeding down pit side here, as you do not want to get yourself a pit road penalty, especially under green flag pit stops. And this could be where things get very interesting. Pitting early, pitting late, seeing how long you can stretch the fuel out. Can you make it from here on to the finish, or do you need to come down pit side one more time? I do believe these drivers should have enough fuel in their car to make it to the checkered flag here. It's going to be very interesting how close it may be and how tight that fuel mileage may be. And if we see another caution flag to bring each and every one of these drivers right back together out there on the racetrack. There you go. You see that lead pack all getting out there, rolling together here. It looks like all of the NLR rides kind of trying to come out together here as Keith Hackney will lead them off of pit lane here. Hackney out first, right where he came in. Then you see Bryce Dickinson right there with him, and there it is, the caution flag. The last thing that we were hoping for here was this yellow flag gonna fly. And it looks like the 3 ride, Dylan Murray, losing control here, and unfortunately slides off the racetrack and sideways there on the track. Drivers coming by. You see Michaela Steffish trying to get around him right there as well. He takes the car off the racetrack quickly, but unfortunately parked sideways there on the track. That brings the caution flag out. A heartbreaker there for the 3 ride as Black Diamond Mafia ride of Dylan Murray definitely not having the run and the performance he was hoping for here this evening. And for some of these dirt track guys, the pavement stuff is a little bit harder, a little bit tougher, and fortunately for Dylan Murray, he's finding out the hard way here in this one as he You also see during the caution flag here, Bryce Dickinson going to go for a slide. I don't know how this one started, but this is under yellow flag conditions, and I'm not sure if he just gets onto the binders here and loses it himself, or what might have happened. See the pace car come out. Bryce is just going to get onto the binders here, and car just hooks left and down towards the infield here. I'm not sure what the move was there. The reasoning behind that one for the END Farms, Papa Mike Promotions, number 84 ride, but nonetheless, he'll get it pointed back in the right direction and keep on rolling as everyone will get lined up together and ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. We will see possibly some drivers coming down pit side here for some pit stops, and this could be a big benefit to Keith Hackney and crew as they have already came down, made their pit stops here, as we will see the leaders all come down pit lane, and it's going to be Kirk Sherwood, Jacob Stefanski, Mangus Anderson, Matt Taylor, all coming down pit road here. Now we'll forfeit the race lead back over to Keith Hackney and crew. So very interesting turn of events there, and a little bit lucky that they didn't go down a lap, that they were the race leaders when they came down pit side. If anyone else came down pit side that were back a little bit deeper, they could be in trouble and could end up being a lap or two down back there. And with an untimely caution flag during these green flag pit stops, definitely always makes things that much more interesting, as we'll get them stacked up, packed up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere, as we're going to get ready here for a quick Scary Strokes commercial break.
Where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Throw your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to
Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Just outside of 20 laps left to go as the field will head down to the Geico restart zone. It is the Grip Acme Live House of Speed NLR Cody Performance number 91 rider Keith Acme, who leads the way here down into that Geico restart zone and sees that green flag fly first. It's all NLR at the front of the field here as they all work together. You see Bryce Dickinson a little bit lacking there on the restart, but he will use it to fall right in line here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for NLR at Daytona International Speedway. They all get lined up. You see John Fowler right there with them, trying to run on their tailcoats right now, trying to stick with those top 5 drivers as they're all lined up quickly here. Starting to open up a little bit of a gap here as Kirk Sherwood kind of stuck right in the middle there. Unfortunately, not a lot of drafting help in front of him, not a lot of pushing and drafting help behind him here as he's trying to reel in the 11 right. Come with a big head of steam here. Rest of the field trying to run them down, as well as everyone trying to work themselves up towards the front of the pack here late in the race. Is down across the line. We see 20 more laps left to go. Now anything can happen inside of 20 laps with these NLR rides. They've been working together here all evening long. They finally found each other all out there. And they're lined up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the racetrack there. The one lone wolf of the top 5, I suppose you could say, is Bryce Dickinson. He's part of the team, but for the pavement stuff, he runs the E&D Farms Dirty Monkey Motorsports Papa Mike Promotions ride, and not the NLR machine that you see the rest of those 4 cars inside the top 5 usually running. As, oh, hang on to it, Magus Anderson gonna go for a bit of a ride there. He's going to go back up onto the racetrack there as he got out at quarter number 4. Very, very loose. Went for a bit of a wild ride. Luckily enough, able to catch that car, keep it pointed in the right direction, and keep on trucking here. Unfortunately, he is sliding farther and farther backwards and outside of the draft now, and that may be a tough break there for that 7 ride as he's going to have to try to find some drafting help as we see more contact there in front of him. Looks like Ty Dickinson. Sweet T-Gang ride has been having such a good run all evening long. Looks like he got up into the outside fence right there, and fortunately he's lost some momentum as well, but he's going to come back here and try to get picked up by this 7 ride as they will try to rejoin that lead group. Unfortunately, they are a little bit too far back that they may not be able to catch it, and going too wide here definitely not going to help them out. They got to go single file here as quickly as possible to try to get that bit of a draft and reel those guys back in before they end up sliding farther and farther behind. Acme, though, out in front, continuing to do what he does best. We normally see it on the dirt track, but he is no slouch when it comes to the asphalt stuff, as well as he's definitely earned his, he's got rid of those rookie stripes and earned his, his accolades here as a very talented pavement driver as well. We haven't seen him have the finishes he's hoped for in the Slingshot Sim Racing Series on Wednesday nights, but he's shown it here in this one, and he's shown it throughout the series that he's got a lot of speed. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to get the car to the front of the field. He just hasn't had really any luck to get a good finish in the bag and staying out of trouble there in that series, but he's going to try to use all the help he can here tonight. 5 teammates lined up back there behind him. 4 teammates, lined up there behind him. He's hoping that they can all work together and keep that 91 rider, or at least the team, out in front here to pick up the first checkered flag of the Sweet Teas Redemption Tour here this evening. It's named the David 150. A huge shout out to David once again. David and family out there watching, cheering on these drivers, enjoying the racing action. David, unfortunately, a 10-year-old who is, dealing with some serious medical things right now, and he loves racing, always been around the racetrack, and unfortunately, having spina bifida and a couple other things, David definitely not 100% out there as we see some contact back behind him. Blake Murray around the big one here at Daytona International Speedway. A lot of drivers up inside of our top 5, top 10, all collected in this one. Kirk Sherwood, Jacob Stefanski in there. We saw John Fowler tore up as well. Oh no, Oh, man, a lot of carnage out there for a lot of great drivers. Matt Taylor also collected there. Blake Murray having a great run in that 5th position. A bunch of damage there for Blake in the 83 ride, and that's right where it all starts here is Blake in that 5th position on the racetrack, and fortunately it just looks like he's going to try to just drive it down low here. The one ride comes with a big head of steam, and just unfortunately Blake was not clear, and then they just wash up. Cody Sanderson getting collected in that one. A bit of damage there for himself. Levister in there as well, and a lot of drivers just unfortunately getting tore up there in that mess. As let's see if we can play this back, get another look at it here. Let's see if we can jump on board with Danny Dane Lloyd here, as Lloyd having a great run and trying to keep himself out of all this carnage. And well, Lloyd does a great job there avoiding any of the carnage there, getting onto the binders quick enough to avoid that contact and keep himself out of trouble right there. A good heads-up piece of driving for that number 9 ride, the Hot Lap Heroes machine, as he sees this happening right out of the front windshield and he's trying to dodge all the carnage here in front of him. He doesn't know where to go or how it's going to play out, but luckily enough, the seas part here and he's able to just kind of roll right on through there and keep himself out of trouble and keep that car pointed in the right direction, as you see a bunch of good drivers all tore up here in this one. We saw Jacob Stefanski in there, the 14 rider Cody Sanderson getting some good shots as well. John Fowler, Thomas Levister, the 95 ride of Crone collected in that one as well. You see Steven Stefanski in there, also some heavy damage there for Steven. And some tough breaks, a couple big hits out there on the racetrack, and a bunch more drivers tore up out there on the track, as you see the 83 trying to get down into his pit box here, as that car has been hurt here, limping, trying to get back down pit road. Same with John Fowler, as he's actually taken his car, if you believe, right off the racetrack here and down behind the pit wall. So a tough break there for John Fowler. You see Matt Taylor, Thomas Levister, Blake Murray all down pit side. Ty Dickinson down there getting some repairs done to that 67 ride as well. As we will get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing in just a little bit. Ariel Lynn Roberts coming in, showing the big love here with that heart reaction, as Ty Dickinson says, there's the big one. There is the big one, and it may not be the only big one here this evening. Matt Fletcher, my boy Matty coming in, showing the love. What's good, Matt? Matt says, Aaron, my boy, what's good, Matty? How are you, brother? How are you today? Matt coming in, showing the love here in this one. How are you, my dude? How are you, Mr. Fletcher? Coming in, showing the love here this evening, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a few more moments. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we only got 14 laps left to go. 13 more after this. The next time by the start-finish line, as my boy John Fowler says, well, damn, yeah, that's a tough break right there, John boy. That is a tough break, brother, as you're having a great run, a great race right there. Keeping yourself up towards the front of the field. Looked like you were bound to have a good, solid, top 5, top 10 run. Maybe even put yourself in position for a win here in this race. And that's how quickly it happens, and that's how quickly a good night can go to a bad night. No fault of your own, and nowhere for you to go. Just wrong place, wrong time out there on the racetrack. Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here with 12 laps left to go. Who is going to get it done? Who will find their way into fame here and picking up the first win of the Sweet Tees Redemption Tour here this evening from the beautiful Daytona International Speedway? We're about to find out. We just saw what could have been the big one here this evening, but I have a sneaky suspicion that the carnage, the wreckage may not be done yet. We may be in for another big one before the end of the evening as Keith, Hackney, and crew head down through the Geico restarts on their Ultra to get lined up here to work together, and here comes the 49 rider, Michaela Steffes. Steffes now inside the top 5 as she jumps up in front of Cody Sanderson. Sanderson, keeping that 14 ride out there on the racetrack, still looking pretty here as he's got that car repaired and looking good once again. He's got Magnus Anderson down, taking a look to his inside as they're all lined up there rolling the outside lane right now. No help for that 07 ride as he's going to have to look for some shove and help here. A couple of drivers back there behind him to help him really carry momentum to make any kind of passes here as they're all lined up here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. The NLR rides here at the front of the field. And you see Michaela Steffes, a big run coming from Cody Sanderson as he's rolling up towards the front of the field once again as that 14 ride's been very strong all evening long. Magnus Anderson giving him a great shove here down that inside lane, and here comes Jacob Stefanski. The 22 rider Thomas Levister right there as well with the 1 Machina Kirk Sherwood. The 15 of Steven Stefanski all down on that inside lane here as see the 15 of Matt Taylor there on the outside lane has Brandon Marlowe and Ty Dickinson right there behind him. And this group still lined up pretty good as you see some of these drivers moving around, trying to take the air off of each other, trying to keep each other kind of at bay out there on the racetrack. And these NLR rides, they see that inside lane starting to really come here, and they may jump down and block it, and that may leave Bryce Dickinson high and dry as that 14 ride works to his inside lane. They jump down to that inside lane. The outside lane may be in for some serious trouble here as they may not have a whole lot of push and help up there on that high side. Hopefully no more carnage out there on the racetrack as things are going to come down here in a quick hurry as the laps are winding down here at Daytona International Speedway. These guys have been putting on a wicked race for us as Ariel says, let's go Cody, cheering on Mr. Sanderson out there on the racetrack as that Sandman Speed 14 ride looking very strong here in this one. Inside the top 5 right now, door to door with Bryce Dickinson for that 4th position here. Michaela Steffes right there in that battle. My boy Matt Fletchell says, crazy race, Matty. It has been a crazy race. That is for certain. As, man, some absolutely amazing racing action. These guys have been putting on one wild show for us here this evening. It's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of beating and banging and battling out there on the racetrack. But man, oh man, it has been a ton of fun, and they have been putting on an absolute show here for David and his whole family and everyone tuning in as you see Michaela Steffes finding herself a way now up into that 3rd spot as, oh brother, hang on to it, Cody Sanderson almost going for a ride right there as well as, oh no, let's take a look back here. Cody Gagliano going off the racetrack right here. A couple of these NLR guys coming together, just pushing a little too hard. You see Bryce Dickinson into the wall. You see the 21 comes down the racetrack. Nowhere to go there for Magnus Anderson. And luckily enough, everyone was able to keep it pointing in the right direction. But that's what really breaks up this lead pack out here as Keith Hackney and Nathan Smith 1 and 2. We saw these guys. We saw those two push each other to a win earlier in the season in our Wednesday night league our Wednesday night league. We saw a great run and a great finish here by those two as Keith Hackney and Nathan Smith, teammates, worked well together at the Super Speedway of Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it was just opposite ends here. Nathan Smith ended up picking up the win. Keith Hackney rode there in second and pushed the 99 ride across the line. So Nathan Smith may owe him one back right now, and they're going to be trying to line up together and keep themselves right there, glued to each other here on the racetrack to try to keep themselves 1 and 2 and hoping to try to pick up the checkered flag here in the first race of the series. Kayla Steff is having a great run as she runs there in that third position. Matt Taylor there in fourth, and a great run here for Jacob Stefanski as he's got that HendrickCars.com number 2 ride up into that fifth position. You see Steven Stefanski rolling up there as well as here comes the 15 ride. He'll roll around Kurt Sherwood. Bryce Dickinson, Cody Sanderson, Thomas Levister, our top 10 out there on the racetrack. Ty Dickinson there in 11th with Dane Lloyd back in 12th. Mangus Anderson, Blake Murray there in 13th and 14th. Brandon Marlowe in that 15th position, I do believe is the first car one lap down out there on the racetrack. So a tough break there for Brandon Marlowe. He would be hoping for another quick caution flag to see if he can get that free pass and back onto the lead lap and back into the action here this evening as Keith Hackney continues to lead the way here in this one. Hackney out in front, showing them how to get it done here at Daytona International Speedways, this time by the start-finish line. We see 5 more laps left to go. 5 more laps left here for that Team Cody Performance, Papa Mike Promotions, and LR Toyota. Keith Hackney to try to pick up the win. Can he hold them all off? Can he park himself in Daytona victory lane? Or does somebody jump up and make the move to get around him here and take this win away? It's down to about our top 11 on the racetrack as that's what's inside this big group right here. As Ty Dickinson bringing up that final spot here in this lead pack. Everyone else back there behind him, unfortunately, are out of contention, biting not a caution flag. If they could get that yellow, they could all be back in contention here. There's contact. Bryce Dickinson up into the outside fence. No caution flag. Fortunately, heavy damage on that 84 ride. He's trying to get it down and off the racing surface here and out of the way of everybody else. And he's going to take it down to pit lane and off the racetrack. A heartbreaker right there for Bryce Dickinson as our top 3. There's a little bit of a gap here now between themselves and the rest of the top 10 as... And oh man, Keith Hackney and Nathan Smith, they've been basically glued together here lap after lap after lap. That 99 ride has not left the back bumper off Keith Hackney. You got to wait and imagine that, you know, Nathan Smith owes one possibly to the 91 ride of Keith Hackney, may owe him one back. I know Smith wants to win just as badly as that 91 ride. Does he make a move late in this race to maybe jump up and maybe steal this one away from the 91? Do we see someone like Michaela Steffes, Matt Taylor, Jacob Stefanski make the moves to maybe jump up and pick up the win here this evening? And right there you see that number 67 ride of Ty Dickinson within striking distance here, as well as the Sweet Tea Gang ride, trying to work himself up into the battle here as he's right on the back bumper of Cody Sanderson. Sanderson would be a good back here. He's had a lot of speed. He's been able to work himself through some of the traffic, and he's shown that he can take pushes and give pushes, but you see a big move coming out of the 2 ride. Here comes Jacob Stefanski down the bottom side. This may split up the NLR rides hard into the wall, goes the 99. The caution flag is going to fly. Cody Sanderson hard into the wall as well. Hard hit there for Cody Sanderson. Nathan Smith collected in that as well. Steven Stefanski around, heavy damage there for the 15 ride. And the caution flag will fly late in this race. Oh my gosh. Wowzers. This is definitely not the way that Keith Hackney wanted to see this one go. Is now he's out in front. Is where he wants to be, but unfortunately, not a lot of teammates around. We see that heavy damage on the 99 ride right there as he's trying to cruise around the racetrack. Unfortunately, this is what happens in the closing laps at Daytona. Things are just getting a little bit pushy and shovey. Drivers trying to get every inch they can out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately, sometimes it just does not work out. As you see, 15 ride all over the back bumper of the 99 ride of Nathan Smith. Unfortunately, I think just gets into him here, maybe in the wrong spot right there onto that right rear quarter panel, and it just kind of hooks him up into the outside fence there. Kirk Sherwood getting a little bit of contact into that. The 37 ride, unfortunately, getting into the back end there. Steven Stefanski, that's what drives the 14 ride down the racetrack and the 15 down into the inside wall there, and heavy damage for both of those drivers, and heavy damage for the 99 ride of Nathan Smith, who was having a great run up in that second spot there for many, many laps of this race. As craziness unfolding late in a race, that's what we come to know here on the simulator, and another one that's going to finish with a green-white checkered attempt. I'm not sure how many green-white checkered attempts we will have. I'm not sure if it's like NASCAR and it'll be unlimited, but it's going to be pretty wild here all evening long. Yo, Frank Ranger, what's good, Frank? Frank coming in, showing the love here in this one. Says, what's up, Frank? How are you, dude? Bryce says, here comes that red 14 again for one last run. Unfortunately, that one last run may have been the last one there, and unfortunately a tough one for Cody Sanderson. We do see him head down pit side. I'm not sure how much repairs he will need to that 14 ride in. I'm sure he'll be able to continue on. I'm not sure how aerodynamically good he'll be to try to finish off this race, and you'll have to try to pass a lot of cars to try to get back in contention here late in this one. But they still being scored right now in that ninth spot on the racetrack, as Brandon Marlowe is going to get that free pass and back onto the lead lap here, as Dane Lloyd, Thomas Levister, Cody Sanderson all down pit side. Blake Murray back onto the lead lap, rolling there in the 8th position. We see Magnus Anderson there in 7th. And we see a pair of the Black Diamond Mafia rides here running in that 5th and 6th position. It's Matt Taylor and Ty Dickinson, the Sweet Tea Gang ride, right there in position number 6. So far a good run here for the league owner, the league promoter, and the master man, the man with the plan there, Ty Dickinson, Sweet Tea himself, made the Sweet Tea Redemption Tour possible here for all these drivers to have a place to race here this season. And huge thank you there for Ty Dickinson having me on board as the announcer, and honestly, always nice to see Ty having himself a great run out there on the racetrack. Hackney continues to lead the way here. Not too long ago, he had 4 teammates back there behind him, 4 NLR rides. Back on his back bumper, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the racetrack. Slowly but surely, they have all gotten tied up, and they have all had some issues here this evening. As we will get ready to go back to green flag races. My boy Frank Ranger says, what's up, Frank? How are you, my boy? Frank coming in. Ariel says, damn is right. Damn is right. In 2 green-white checkered attempts. Okay, 2 green-white checkered attempts. So we will have this one more. If we have a caution flag before the white flag here, we will have another attempt at it, and that will be the second only attempt at it, as the next flag after that one will end it no matter what, whether it's caution flag or not caution flag. Bryce, he's giving her a dangle. He's giving her everything he can out there for Cody Sanderson, and he may not be done yet. He's got that car back out there on the racetrack, still on the lead lap, and currently being scored in the 11th position, so does have quite a bit of damage still on the front end of that car. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can try to get himself back up towards the front of the field and salvage a fairly good run. But man, oh man, Hackney's got his hands full. So we got him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here. NASCAR Overtime at Daytona International Speedway for the David 150 here this evening. The season opener of the Sweet Tea's Redemption Tour. Keith Hackney, Jacob Stefanski, Michaela Steffes, Kirk Sherwood, Matt Taylor, Ty Dickinson, Magnus Anderson, Blake Murray, Dane Lloyd, and Thomas Levister are top 10 here in this one. Cody Sanderson back in the 11th position, trying to reel in the rest of our top 10 here as quickly as possible. And then one lap down, we see Tyler Crone there in position number 12. Brandon Marlowe there in 13th. Andrew Ainsley, Nathan Smith, Steven Stefanski, Bryce Dickinson, Cody Gagliano, Dylan Murray, John Fowler, our top 20 here this evening. Landon Price, Jonathan Wiley, Joshua Ely, Dylan Lear, Charles Barnes, Tyler Griffin, and Chap Puterbo rounding out our field here this evening, as we've seen about half of this field unfortunately racked out of this race, but we got about half of them still out there. 3 are down a lap or multiple laps, but 11 drivers still on the lead lap and ready to roll here. Or this one. Is the first night of a new league? Yes, sir. It's the first night of a brand new league, and it looks like we will get a additional lap here as the lights will turn back on the official iRacing pace car there. So we'll get one more lap around as there you go. The lights are off again there for the iRacing pace car. So we'll get a quick word in here from our sponsors over at Scary Strokes before we go back to our NASCAR Overtime.
Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Roll your next birthday with our VIP party pack. Our party pros are ready to entertain you with a fright fest you'll never forget. Perfect for an action-packed date night full of flirty fun. Our state-of-the-art arcade has the latest games with the coolest prizes. Be sure to feast on some tasty morsels in the Graveyard Grill. So come on, bring your ghoulish gang over to Scary Strokes, where every experience matters. Welcome to Scary Strokes, where fun meets fright, where every experience transports you to a world of fun. Play 18 holes of blacklight mini golf in ancient Egypt, a haunted house, and beyond the grave. Step inside our virtual reality arena, where you take control of video games and virtual worlds. Battle robots, shoot zombies, and compete against your friends. Roll your next birthday with her.
Alrighty, as we're going to get ready to go green flag racing here once again from Daytona International Speedway. Our first attempt at NASCAR Overtime here from Daytona International Speedway. 11 drivers left on the lead lap here as down through the Geico restart zone. Keith Hackney sees that green flag fly. Quickly jumping onto the lap pedal here. Hackney out in front looking to try to clear the two right of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski trying to stay glued there to his outside, looking for a good shot from that one right of Kirk Sherwood. Is Sherwood trying to push that two right to the front of the field. Michaela Steff is trying to sign draft here on that 91 right as here comes Blake Murray back up inside the top 5 here for that 83 ride as he jumps up to the outside lane. He's got a good shove coming from Thomas Levister and Ty Dickinson as they're trying to reel in those 4 cars out in front. They're a little bit more single file right now as Michaela Steffes slides back to that 4th position as here comes that number 83 jumping to the outside lane here. The two right all over the back bumper here of Keith Hackney as door-to-door action here down through the tri-oval. The white flag has been displayed. Contact up into the wall, no caution flag as of yet. Hackney, though, out in front now has his teammate Blake Murray right there onto his back bumper, and it could be the best thing for him as here comes a big move out of the 67 ride. Ty Dickinson trying to get around the 2, almost going around, able to save it, keeps the point in the right direction. Unfortunately, loses a ton of momentum down the back straightaway as Keith Hackney for the final time leads us into quarter number 3. Blake Murray, his teammate right there on his back bumper. Thomas Levister there in 3rd. Jacob Stefanski there in 4th. And Matt Taylor, our top 5, is more shuffling, bouncing around here. Battle back to the line, but it's the 91 ride of Keith Hackney who's able to pick up the checkered flag here this evening. Hackney gets it done in parks. His Pulp Mike promotion, Grip Hackney Live, Team Cody Performance, 91 ride into victory lane. Blake Murray, his teammate, in the House of Speed NLR Papa Mike Promotions ride there in 2nd, and Jacob Stefanski in the HendrickCars.com Camaro able to come home and steal that 3rd place finish away at the line from Thomas Levister. as Leominster comes home in the 4th position. Matt Taylor in his Black Diamond Mafia 15 machine there in that 5th position. Then Cody Sanderson able to rebound and salvage a 6th place run here in this one as Mangus Anderson, Ty Dickinson, Dane Lloyd, and Kirk Sherwood round out our top 10 here this evening. 67 is my idol, says Michael Dickinson. 67, I think, is all of our idols. That's for certain. Cody, go, 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 says Ariel. Yeah, he was going, that's for certain, but so wasn't Blake Murray, as John Fowler says, wow, teammate did not even try to pass him. BS. Hey, you know what? That's what it's about, though. Teamwork is teamwork, and sometimes you got to use that teamwork, and luckily enough for Keith Hackney, he's got some good friends and some good drivers there that race underneath of him and can help him out and can make sure that they don't, make any bonehead moves or anything else, and that's just good teamwork right there. And, now Keith owes him one, and Keith's going to have to try to pay him one back here in this one. But, man, Blake Murray, a great run and a strong performance there late in this race. It would have been wild to see him try to make that move and maybe try to steal this one away from Hackney, but sometimes you got to give the boss man, his lucky charms here and there, as we'll get ready to pull Keith Hackney into the broadcast booth here for his win this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for that 91 ride as he's able to get it done and park his ride up in victory lane after 77 or 78 laps. I don't even know how many laps we ended up running there at the end, but after this one, the checkered flag flies, and it's Hackney out in front, picking up a very well-deserved race win here this evening as, he put on a bit of a clinic out there in that second half of this race. Hell yeah, great race. All for David. All for David. That's 100% right there, Ty. All for David. An amazing race. An amazing way to get the series started here. Obviously, Daytona can be a bit of a wild card there, and unfortunately for some drivers, they found out the hard way that Fortunately, Daytona can tear up a lot of equipment and a lot of cars in a quick hurry, and a lot of times it's no fault of your own. You can be 5, 6, 7, 10 rows back of whatever's happening in front of you, and then all of a sudden you got a car parked sideways right in front of you and nowhere for you to go, just wrong place, wrong time, and a lot of drivers, unfortunately, not having the runs and the performances they were hoping for here this evening. I got diggity dumped, says Nathan Smith. Unfortunate, couple laps left to go. Everyone pushing as much as possible. Everyone's just on it, on the throttle, and just giving that push in the wrong spot, the wrong time. That's super speedway racing right there, locked up in that one. As Layton Phillips says, I'll be back soon, being honeymooning. We'll be back for the All-Star race in the SSR. Congratulations, Keith. Just got the finish. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. What a run. What a race there for Mr. Hackney. Michaela says, great race, everyone. Prayers to David and family. 100% prayers to David and the family. Hopefully they enjoyed the racing action. Hopefully they enjoyed this. And if anyone would like the information for their PayPal or Venmo, get a hold of Ty Dickinson or myself. We can point you in the right direction to get that information if you guys want to help them out and support an amazing family and help them in, David's battle with spina bifida and everything else that unfortunately he has going on for him right now. Definitely some tough times there, not only for him but for the whole family. And if anyone would like to donate stickers as well, I know the Facebook post that I saw posted, saying that they were going to try to get everyone's, race stickers or hero cards made up and sent to David for him to have and for him to enjoy and see the racing community come together, whether it's real life racing or if it's virtual racing. If you guys have anything like that, you can get a hold of me or Ty Dickinson again, and we can get you a location or a P.O. box to be able to send those to and be able to, put an extra smile on David's face. As we'll get ready here, we're going to pull in that 91 ride of Keith Hackney. Is Hackney coming home here with the win? We're going to pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Keith, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you? Keith, my boy, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one. And, what was going through your mind here as About halfway through this race, you and your teammates, you all get lined together. You work yourselves up to the front of the field. You're running 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 there with the NLR crew. And slowly but surely, one after another, they start to disappear from your rearview mirror. And you got a lot of hungry drivers there on that final restart. The green-white checkered back there behind you, trying to take this one away from you. And unfortunately, for everyone else, they weren't able to find a way to get around you.
Yeah, man. These plate races, you want to be there at the end, and a lot of these guys. I mean, I know them from the dirt side, and I know they don't run as much asphalt. So, I mean, I guess their persona about running the plate races is maybe a little bit aggressive, a little bit too early, and I seen that, and which hiccups first race, it's always gonna happen, and just everybody trying to figure everybody out and stuff like that, and yeah, I got in a wreck, but I didn't get no damage, um, but I drifted to the back because I wanted to be in the back and just you know pick them off how they come to me. Um, some of the guys, it honestly, it was hard to follow because I mean, if you're in the back just looking up through there, it's just a damn snake, going left and right, and just like, oh man, like if we don't make a hole and try to go now, we might get caught up in a wreck, and none of us want that for anybody. But yeah, man, we got hooked up together, everybody in a line right there, and I was trying to coach them, trying to tell them, especially Cody, with him drafting me. Bump drafting me and stuff like that. I was trying to tell him, hey, hit me here, or if I pull out away from you a little bit, that's okay because that's going to happen in the center of the corner. But I'll back up to you on exit, and it worked out very very well. And we actually pitted a couple laps before I wanted to pit, but I felt like that was when we needed to. And yeah, I thought after the call, I mean, after the pit stops, that green flag pit stop, that we was going to cycle back around and in the lead anyways. I just thought it probably would have been, they would might have been a little gap in between everybody, but then the caution come out, and I was like, oh no. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, we didn't go a lap down, and they haven't pitted yet, so we should cycle back around, to be the top positions again, and we did. Um, but unfortunately, Cody popped, going down the front straightaway. I heard it like, oof, and then he disappeared. And then Bryce got into that mess he got into, and then Nathan got into it on the tri-oval, and then Blake was way back in the back. Um, Honestly, I was trying to make friends with Michaela there before that last restart. I was messaging her like, "Hey, this is the plan. This is what I'm gonna try to do," and she just couldn't quite get luck to my bumper like I wanted her to on the restart, but which that's okay. Um, but then I seen them coming on the outside line, and it was either try to stay with Michaela and probably get past on the outside, or try to play defense. And of course, I mean, chose that line to do. So, yeah, it all worked out well. I knew he was going to try to pass me. We got sideways a little bit right there, but obviously that's what happens when you try to block, especially at a place like this. And I told him I was okay. If we wrecked, then we wrecked. I mean, this plate racing is going to happen. And to be honest with you, I haven't finished a damn race, and I can't tell you how long. So it don't even matter to me at this point. But then I seen Blake. I think he started eighth on that last restart, and I seen him coming up through there, and I happened to look in my mirror. I said, "Blake, is this you?" He said, "Yep." And I said, "That's all I need to know." So I tucked up in front of him, and it was just riding off in the sunset then.
Absolutely, and you gotta give a huge thank you there to Blake Murray. Has definitely helped you out, maybe saved you a little bit there, having that second car on your back bumper, a teammate that can help push, and knowing that he's not really gonna make that big move and try to get around you there late in this race, and leave you high and dry. Where any of those drivers that were back there behind you would have taken that opportunity and left you there by yourself. So a huge shout out there for him, and a great run and a great drive there late in this race on that green white checker to drive all the way from 8th up into that second spot and help push you across the line.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It's so hard to lead, especially here. All it takes is second, third to pull out a line at the same time, and then the first place, man, they're left out to dry. So, I was really watching my mirror a lot. I was trying to see where he was going to try to go. He was trying to fake me out, which I mean, I kind of anticipated it a little bit, and I think that's the reason why I was able to try to block him when I did, because I'm a prime example. I did the same thing, so I kind of knew what he was trying to do. Um, Maybe twice. Um, I maybe blocked a little bit too late, and I did get sideways, like I said, but he didn't wreck me, which I respect that 100%. Um, he could have if he wanted to, but I'm glad he didn't, because if we did that, then me and him wouldn't even be in the top three. So, uh, yeah, I mean, I had a blast. It feels good to be back up here talking to you, because it has been a long time, and I'm trying to get the feel for these cars, man. It's just I've I'm fast in these cars, but I'm still lacking a little bit of knowledge that I need. And yeah, so that's another reason why I decided to run this league as well with Ty, just to tidy up some things amongst these cars and obviously the other cars as well. So yeah, had a blast, and I cannot wait to run Xfinity next week.
Absolutely, kind of giving that little bit of a monkey off your back here after a lot of hard battles and hard breaks there in the SSR tour that we see here every Wednesday, and being able to get the monkey off the back here in this one's gonna feel very, very good. But teamwork makes the dream work, as you guys come home 1 and 2 for NLR, and we're able to pick up that checkered flag. Keith, who else would you like to thank here for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Well, I mean, I guess the very first thing I need to do is obviously this race is for little man David, and I see what he's going through, and my prayers are with him and his family, and I know that's a lot, and we as drivers, we acknowledge it as well. And regardless of what kind of racing that we do, whether we're wrecking, whether we're flat out racing, whether we might get pissed off at each other, we know it's for a bigger cause, and that's for him. And I'm so glad that he was able to tune in, as I think Ty was saying. So I'm glad we put on a very good, hell of a race for him. And I did make a logo that several cars was running, and obviously on your overlays. So yeah, that I was sitting around about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, you know what, let's make this little man something, just to strut his stuff there. So first and foremost, like I said, shout out to him and his family. But other than that, I got to thank NLR and all my teammates that played a huge factor in this race. Um, uh, Cody, Blake, Nathan, and Bryce, and Charles if he could have stayed out of trouble. Um, Tunnel Vision by Hackney, House of Speed, Papa Mike, Grip Hackney Live, Team Conti. I heard you having a little issue saying that last night, or the other night.
Yeah, I was trying to read it. I couldn't read it very well with just how the angle of the fenders bend and everything.
Yeah, the Team Conti, he does some great asphalt stuff. Me and him go way back, so I enjoy running his stuff whenever I run open set. But yeah, Ty for putting this on, and you for broadcasting as well. And also, by the way, that was a Dale Earnhardt car last night, and you was having a problem with that. I'm gonna have to give a write up before the next throwback race, so you know. But other than that, yeah, we had a blast, and I cannot wait to come back next week.
Yeah, I would never have guessed that. That's for certain. I had no clue. That's way before my time. I have never even seen that car in a highlight video or anything from Dale Earnhardt or anything else. So you had me guessing on that one. So luckily enough, someone jumped in and let me know there in the chat.
Well, the guy who jumped in, he actually helped me paint that car. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I couldn't expect much from a Canadian, but we keep it moving.
Listen, I got like 80% of them right, okay? And you guys are way older than I am, so it's before my time. No, I'm just kidding. But Keith, man, a great run, great drive. Congratulations on the win here this evening, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in Victory Lane next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And cannot forget Mama Bear. I know she's probably tuned in. I haven't shouted her out because I haven't been up here, so shout out to her. I don't know if my mother tuned in either, so if she did, shout out to her, and Tasha as well for letting me race.
Beauty, Keith, enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations on the win.
All right, man. Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Keith Hackney, as he picks up the win here in this one. His name says, Peace, how the hell are you drinking a monster this late? Listen, brother, I don't sleep. I don't sleep. And this probably won't be the last one I have tonight. It's probably not even the last one I'll have tonight. I'm probably going to be playing MLB or NHL for like at least 7-8 more hours before I probably fall asleep later on this evening. Rod Tucker built the motors. They legal? They legal? Okay, I'll believe it. I'll believe it, Lane. They legal. Get you an Ultra, bud. A Michelob Ultra? Come on now. Come on now. I have real Canadian beer up here, okay? We actually have alcohol in our beer, and we got way better choices than Michelob Ultra. Holy, what am I, 19 and in college? What in the world? What in the world are we even talking about, Nathan? As we're going to get ready, we're going to pull our second place finisher up into the broadcast booth here as our second place driver, Blake Murray, waiting patiently. Unfortunately, the session is already closed, so I can't even change the overlay as it'll still show Keith Hackney's name there, but it is Blake Murray who are pulling up into the broadcast booth here, coming home in that second spot. Hey, Blake, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, a great run and a great drive here for you as we saw you up inside the top 5 for a lot of this race. Unfortunately got tied up in a little bit of a wreck there late in this one, but you're able to rebound late and work yourself up through some of these drivers and up to the front of the field. And once you get there, you get locked right into the back bumper, the 91 rider, your teammate, and Keith Hackney, and push him down across the line here for a solid second place finish for yourself, but a solid 1-2 run here for the NLR crew.
Yeah, I'm new to the whole asphalt thing, but if it wasn't for Keith and Cruz and all the guys in NLR, I wouldn't even be where I'm at. But it's I usually don't run Daytona, but that wreck was on me. I moved down way too late. They had a way bigger run than I expected, and I really didn't think I was gonna catch the draft down the backstretch till Keith was getting pushed around, and I guess it gave me a little momentum down the backstretch to catch a little bit of air, and yeah, I told him move up, and I pushed him. I wasn't gonna try to pass him. It's hard to find good teammates nowadays, so yeah.
Absolutely taking one there for the team, not making the move, and maybe potentially causing both of you to lose out on top 3 runs or wins here this evening, and you know, if contact was made or anything else. So good solid teamwork, making the dream work there for you, and a solid way to get the series started here as you park that 83 ride up in P2 here this evening. Blake, who else would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here in this one?
Shout out to David. Prayers, I understand. Yeah, thank all the guys in NLR, Keith Cruz, everything they helped me on the asphalt side. It's a big jump from dirt to asphalt. And House of Speed, Dylan Hauser, Tunnel Vision by Hackney, Papa Mike, NLR, Grip Hackney Live. Yep, and thanks Ty for the league, and thank you for broadcasting.
Absolutely, Blake. A great run and a great drive here this evening as you park it up on the podium. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack in the Xfinity rides next Thursday, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe one spot better and up in victory lane yourself.
Yes, sir. See you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher there, Blake Murray, as Murray coming home there in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for that number 83 machine. As we'll get ready, we're going to pull our third place finisher into the broadcast booth here, Jacob Stefanski, with a great run and a great drive here in this one. As yeah, unfortunately, did not shout you out there, Nathan. Unfortunately, you know, all your work up there in the in the spotters booth just did not work out for you, as he did not pull one up there for you and did not help you out there with that one. Also, the Canadian version of Busch Light is so good. I don't even drink Busch Light. That's a little too. I'm not huge on light beer, but yeah. The Canadian version of nothing is good. Stupid Canadians. Oh my gosh. Come on now. Canadian beer, maple syrup with 1% alcohol, don't count. Nah, brother, we have beer that's got 7-8% in it. We don't have the weak watered down beer like you guys do with your 4%. Gross. It's just horse pee. I pushed him to his win. Who? Tyler? Who's Tyler? Tyler Michael. I pushed him to his win. Pushed who to whose win? As we'll get ready to pull this number 2 ride of Jacob Stefanski up into the broadcast booth. Hey Jacob, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Sir.
Jacob, man, a great run and a great drive here for you in this one. A good opportunity late in this race as you kept yourself out of trouble, kept yourself out of the carnage, and put yourself into position to make some moves there late in this race. Unfortunately, just not the push and help you needed here and there during that green-white checkered, and you have to settle in for a solid third-place run, but definitely not where you wanted to be, as I'm sure you were staring down the barrel looking to try to maybe pick up the checkered flag here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. I was just kind of, like you said, staying out of the wrecks, and I was kind of hanging back for a majority of the race. And then me and Steve and Kirk and Tyler were kind of coming up through the pack a little bit and working together. And on that last restart, Kirk gave me a great push, and I tried to make the move coming out of 2, and Keith, he was on his game tonight, and like I told him, I'm not willing to dump somebody for the win, especially with how dominant he was all race long, but I made my couple moves, and then me and Ty got into it a little bit, and kind of killed my momentum coming off of 2 on that last lap, and I was fortunate enough to get a good bump going down the backstretch from Tyler, and it got me back up there, to be able to be drafting with the top 4 there and get that run and end up getting 3rd.
Absolutely, definitely being able to get that last podium spot there right at the line, beating Thomas Levister back to the checkered flag here. But man, a great run and a solid performance for you all evening long, as you were able to just keep yourself pretty clean out there on the racetrack. And yeah, we saw that little bit of contact there down the back straightaway between you and Ty Dickinson. Unfortunately for Ty, trying to make that pass, you're just trying to kind of hold him off, get a little air off the side of his body panels, and trying to just kind of slow him down enough where you can maybe catch the draft off that 67 right as he was going by you. And unfortunately, that little bit of contact kind of slowed you down a little bit more, but it all works out here for a solid top 3 finish and a great way to start the season.
Oh, absolutely. And I just got to do a big shout out to David. This race was all about him, and shout out to him, and hopefully he had a good time watching, and he's an inspiration to all of us out here, and this is why we do it.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it any better myself. This is exactly why we all showed up and showed out here and put on an amazing race for David and his family and friends. And Jacob, you put on a show not only for David and all of his crew, but you put on a show here for the whole Stefanski crew as well, as you're able to park that 2 right up here on the podium. Is there anyone else you'd like to shout out here for such a great finish and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, I got to shout out the guys over at Throttle Down Motorsports. I got to shout out Sunrise Racing, Hendrick Cars, let's see here, Forever Tandem Boutique, WB Creative Designs, always keeping my cars looking fresh. My teammates for today, for this race, my cousin Steven, Tyler Curione, and Kirk Sherwood. We just, all the guys, and shout out to my girlfriend, who's always supporting me doing these races and just having fun with the guys. I'll do a shout out for Keith Hackney too. That was a great win, good time, and thanks to you for putting on these streams. You always do the best, and Ty Dickinson for putting on this league.
Absolutely, brother. Well, a great run and a great drive here for yourself as you park it up in that 3rd spot. Jake, we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Thursday. Maybe right back up here in the broadcast booth, and maybe right up here in Victory Lane.
Hopefully.
Beauty, enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on the 3rd place run.
Thanks, Sarah. You have a good night, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for that number 2 machine of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski coming home here in that second spot, man. What a run and what a drive there for that number 2 machine as he's able to pull it up onto the podium here. As unfortunately, that will do it for us here this evening, man. What a run, what a drive, what a race by each and every one of these drivers, man. They put on one heck of a show here, as Ty Dickinson says. PeaceMaker, best in the business. Glad to have this dude on board. Yes, Sirski, you know it, brother. You know it, brother. Vote to kick Nate. No, we're not going to kick Nate. That's rude. We're not going to do that to poor Smith. I'm going to need some parts from the Stefanski crew. Car is junk. Yeah, unfortunately, there was a lot of cars that are probably going to need to head to the scrapyard or to, auto parts or, car source or any of those auto places to go get themselves some new equipment here for next week. As Tyler Michael, which is Tyler Curone, as or Curone. I'm probably still going to get that wrong a million times. But okay, I understand who that is now. Yes, a great run for you, and a tough way to start things off for the evening for you, Tyler, but a good recovery there late in the race. Kick me, screw that guy, oh no. Screw MLB, play COD. COD's for losers, COD's for losers. MLB, NHL, that's where it's at. That's where it's at right there. That's what you want to be able to do. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Absolutely amazing race. Absolutely amazing action all evening long. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in, showing the love with the likes, the comments, the shares, and a huge thank you to Ty Dickinson and all the drivers for showing up and showing out here this evening, putting on an absolutely amazing race for David and his family. Once again, our prayers are with you, David, and everyone with your family and your friends that are having to go through this with you, and hopefully, God's hand is there with you and helping you through as well, and hopefully we'll get you fixed up and back on your feet and doing everything that you love, and maybe one of these days get you on the simulator or out there on the racetrack yourself and being able to race and be competitive with everybody else. But listen, can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and being a part of this one now. As about NCAA coming back July 19th after 11 years. Yeah, that's actually kind of crazy. It's been 11 years since the last NCAA football game, so that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I'll probably play it. I'm not gonna lie. If it's on PC, I'll definitely probably play it. If it's not on PC, I probably won't play it because I'm not going to buy a PS5 or an Xbox One when I got a $5,000 PC right here beside me. Not coming to PC. Well, I'm out. I ain't playing it. Unless if it's on Xbox One or if it's on PS4, then maybe, but probably not. Probably not. If it's not on PC, then I don't play it. So that's about it. But listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I can't thank you guys enough. Peace and love. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.